All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Raiders Daily. My name is Jackson, and today I'm going to be talking about an X Factor. And it's not secret, it's not low-key, it's Derek Carr. I got a comment on yesterday's video saying if Derek Carr can throw a tight spiral, it's over. Something of sorts. And I saw that, I chuckled, and I was like, damn straight, man. You're damn straight. But I think the Derek Carr slander has gone too far. Not with Raiders fans, but in NFL media in general. I view Derek Carr as a very capable Super Bowl caliber quarterback, as he is. Now, before we get into today's video, I just want to say you guys have blessed the last couple of videos, last 2 videos, 3 videos I've posted. Let's try and get this video to 100 likes as we try and ride this momentum into the season, because we got 10 days till the start of the technical NFL regular season debut or opener, and that's a long time to me. So I like getting into these deep dives. I like kind of not stirring up some controversy, but I kind of like, I don't know, you'll see as we get into this video. So basically, my point is this. Derek Carr goes into 2014, 3-13. The Raiders sucked, guys. I'm not trying to diss it. The Raiders sucked. You finished last in defense, and you finished second to last in offense. It was not a great year. In fact, it was, like I said, it was Derek Carr's rookie season. You actually still had Darren McFadden as your starting running back. 12 starts, only 534 yards, but we won't talk about that. My point is, bringing up his rookie year, who was the most targeted and or who was the most who got the most catches? Here are the answers. It's Andre Holmes. Andre Holmes led the Raiders that season in reception yards with 693. Now, no disrespect to Andre Holmes, but he was out of the league a couple of years later. He didn't have that long of a career in the NFL. However, like I said, this is definitely not an Andre Holmes slander video. He had the best year of his career that year with Derek Carr as his quarterback. So we fast forward to the next season, right? Because after Derek's first season, he made 3 straight Pro Bowls, and he actually, in his third season, when the Raiders went 12-13, he finished third in MVP voting, all right? So what happened in 2015? Well, the Raiders went 7-9, nothing great, nothing too bad, but Derek Carr made his first Pro Bowl in his second season. In fact, he threw for 4,000 yards, he had 32 touchdowns, and he had 13 receptions. Now, offensively speaking, what was the difference maker? Well, it was the first year you had Latavius Murray as your starting running back. The reason I bring up Latavius Murray is because very capable running back, i.e. Josh Jacobs, another very capable running back. But what did the Raiders do that season? Well, whether it was draft, trade, free agency, what have you, they made a bunch of moves, but 2 in specific. You got Amari Cooper in his rookie season. Amari Cooper that year, 72 catches, 1,070 yards. Michael Crabtree's first season with the Raiders, 85 receptions, 922 yards. So you start to set it up. And that's the way I view the Raiders last season at 10-7, losing to the Bengals in the first round of the playoffs. They were a very good team, a lot better record-wise than 7-9 in 2015, but you started to put the pieces together, right? You have a Hunter Renfrow who's just cooking. You have a Derek Carr who's cooking. You have Josh Jacobs who's very solid. But there were still a lot of holes, right? If we look back at that 2015 team, well, they finished 17th in offense, which isn't the worst, but they finished 22nd in defense, all right? So we go to Derek Carr's third season when things finally start clicking and you now have a whole year under your belt with a solid running back and Michael Crabtree and Amari Cooper. What do? Well, you go 12-3, all right? And yeah, this is Derek Carr's MVP caliber season, because what did Derek Carr do? Well, not only did he lead the Raiders to a 12-3 record and finish third in MVP voting, well, he also threw for 28 touchdowns, and he also only threw 6 interceptions. One could argue that was Derek Carr's most efficient or best season. 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, 12-3 record. Now, we won't talk about how that season ended because it was depressing, but what happened after that? Well, the pieces started to fall. The cookies started to crumble, whether it was due to injuries, whether it was due to offense, defense, what have you, a lot of things coming in and out. The Raiders offense took a huge step back. I don't like blaming injuries, but offense 23rd, defense 20th. And from there out, you had 6-9, 4-12, 7-9, 8-8. It's not the best. It's certainly not the worst. So we fast forward to last season, 2021, where Derek Carr and the Las Vegas Raiders, like I said, 10-7. You had Derek Carr, the most interceptions in his career, but he also just blew out his career average or his career high as far as passing yards. In 2020, the COVID year, that was when Derek Carr set his mid-season record for passing yards with 4,103. Well, yeah, 27 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, very, very solid 8-8 season. It's not, like I said, not the best, not the worst, what have you. Well, he bumped that number up about 700 yards last year. This dude threw for 4,800 yards. Derek Carr last season, he's in his prime, folks, 4,800 yards. Yes, he threw 14 interceptions. But, like I said, not to rag on the Raiders, but who's he throwing to, man? I feel like that plays a factor into it. You had Mr. Solid, Hunter Renfrow. Obviously, the Henry Ruggs situation, the John Gruden situation had huge stains. Now, you had nice little pieces, guys like Zay Jones. You did have, I guess if you want to throw Deshaun Watson in there, Darren Waller only played 11 games. He got injured. My point is this. Derek Carr had the best season passing yard-wise in his whole career by far, with far less than he's ever had. There's no Amari. There's no Michael Crabtree. There's no solidified number one receiver. This was the first year that we kind of saw Hunter Renfrow establish himself as like, oh my goodness, yeah, this dude, he caught the touchdown pass with Clemson against Alabama, and he kind of got his own little legacy from there. But, if you go back to 2020, he only had 6 starts. He only caught, or I shouldn't say only, but Hunter Renfrow in his first 2 seasons averaged about 630 yards per season of reception yards. This past season, that's where we saw the breakout. We saw 103 receptions. We saw a double in yards and receptions. So, what do you think's going to happen if you bring in the best wide receiver in the whole NFL? A healthy Darren Waller, an undisputed top 5 tight end, being generous right there. Hunter Renfrow, one of the most consistent, if not the most consistent slot player in the NFL. Yeah, I'll throw in a new head coach, Josh McDaniels, i.e. offensive genius. You're casual. I'll also throw in Josh Jacobs, Zamir White, an improving offensive line. And you know what? Why not? I'll throw in an above-average defense because, well, that's what the Raiders have. So, as far as I'm concerned, the Raiders will have a top 5 offense if healthy, and they're a threat. I know this isn't news to anybody, and I know I make a lot of videos on this, but I don't know. Hopefully you enjoyed this kind of perspective of looking back into the past, because this is something we've talked about on this channel before. No disrespect to Amari and Michael Crabtree, but let's be real, let's be frank here. The combination of Michael Crabtree and Amari Cooper, the Raiders version of those two, you can combine that. It's not even Davante Adams. That's how good Davante Adams is. And the point being is you already have a very good quarterback. You have a very good head coach / offensive coordinator. You have a very good running back system. You already have a solidified tight end, slot receiver, and offensive studs. So as far as I'm concerned, yes, you should fear the Las Vegas Raiders.